Welcome to the 95 Shop and welcome to the Fletcher Wolf Racing YouTube channel. Today we are doing something interesting that I have very limited experience with, but Dad's going to show me how it's done, and that is checking the valve lash on this SB 2.2 super late model engine that we've been running. It's a 358. According to the dyno sheets, it puts out somewhere around 800 horsepower. But anyway, we're getting ready to put it back in the car for the first time in the new Warrior. We're getting ready to run next week, I think, so it needs to go back in the car. And first, we're going to do some routine maintenance, check the valve lash. So yeah, I don't really know how to do it. I mean, I've seen Dad do it a few times, and he's explained it to me a couple times, but yeah, I'm going to take today as kind of a learning experience from Dad. He's done a lot of engine stuff his whole life, so I think he's a pretty good source for learning how to do this. So I'm excited to learn about it. Hope you guys are too. Thanks for clicking on the video. If you liked today's video, make sure you hit the like button. Leave a comment down below if you know how to do this, or maybe what your experience with engines is. And yeah, make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel, and we will get right into it. Before we get any further, I'd like to just give a quick shout out to our Patreon and our Patreon members. Thank you to everybody who has signed up over there. If you like our videos and you want to see more content from us, or if you just want to support the team a little bit, help us get up and down the road, we have a Patreon page where people can sign up to be monthly members with us, and they get free t-shirts and bonus content and stuff like that in return. We have tiers starting at $5 and $10, and like I said, that just helps us get up and down the road. Any money that comes in from our Patreon page is used for tires and fuel and the transporter and feeding the crew guys and pit passes and stuff like that. So it takes a village to run a program like this, so thank you to everybody who's already signed up over there. And if you're interested, I will leave a link in the description of this video, and I'll also put the URL in like a pop-up thing on here. And without further ado, we'll get into checking the valve lash. All right, we've got the engine up on the stand. It was over there on the bench. It's going to be on the stand while we check the valve lash, and then when we get the flywheel set up, we'll go back to the bench over here to do that, and then it'll go into the car once all that is finished. So first things first that we need to do is we need to pull these valve covers off. It has some oilers that run into the top of the valve covers, you can see here and here, so we'll get those taken off, and then we can get the valve covers off, and that's going to open up the top end so that we can get a look at everything in there and actually start checking valve lash. Got the covers off, give you a closer look here under the valve cover.
Yeah. Okay, so while the engine's out, we're going to run through the valve lash, make sure everything's okay. They do get set cold, but or hot, but we're going to check them when they're cold. Since they're out of the car, they're a lot easier to do. We'll put it in the car, we'll run it, we'll get it warmed up, we'll do it again when it's in the car. I go ahead and run the firing order. I've got my distributor cap marked so I know where number 1 is, and we've got a TDC mark on the front dampener here. It's on TDC now, and I can tell from that mark that it's actually on the last cylinder, or it's 180 degrees out. So I'm going to start with number 1. So we're going to...
Before you get too deep into it, can you just tell, for people who don't know, what does valve lash mean? Why are you checking it?
Okay.
What is TDC? Because not everybody is going to know that, maybe.
Okay, so TDC is top dead center. And what that means is that The piston on any given cylinder, when it's at top dead center, is at the very top of its travel, has the highest amount of compression. Usually you'll fire the spark plug at a number of degrees before it gets to top dead center, so that it's got enough time for the flame to completely go through the combustion chamber before it breaks over top dead center and starts to go down, and then you get the power push out of it. Okay, so what we do is we follow the firing order around. I start with number 1, and the firing order is 1-8-4-3-6-5-7-2 standard Chevy firing order. So we'll get up on number 1, which is where we are now, and we should have valve lash, which you can see they wiggle, and we've got some lash in those. Now, what
So
valve
lash is like play.
It's play.
Okay.
And we measure it out here on the end. This is the rocker arm, push rod's back here, and then this is an adjuster nut, and I can spin that push rod easy, right? Both of them I can spin easy, so I know I have some lash. So we're going to go see where we are right now.
And what is that tool that you're using?
This is a feeler gauge, so it tells me how many thousandths of an inch each independent blade is, right? So
Right.
this is a 10, and
That looks like it fits pretty good.
it's snug, right? But I can move it back and forth.
So that tells you right there on number 1,
Right.
you have 10 thousandths of an inch of lash.
Correct, valve
Okay.
lash, right? And if I wanted to change it, what I would do is I would break this jam nut.
Uh-huh.
Okay, it's a 12-point jam nut. You break that free. Inside of it then is an Allen, which as an adjuster, this is threaded inside the rocker. So with this broken free and this, then you can turn that screw in or out, change that amount of lash that you have, then lock it down, lock the jam nut down,
Right.
and then move on to the next one.
Okay.
I called the engine builder because I did notice when I would check them when they were cold, they were usually tighter than when they're hot. And the reason for that is as the engine warms up, the cylinder head's got all this aluminum, there's a lot of aluminum, a lot of mass here, and it grows. As it grows, that lash will open up.
So as it gets hotter, the lash number is going to increase.
Right.
Okay. And how do you decide what's a good? I mean, is that just from the engine builder? They tell you what they want it at, or how does that work?
The engine builder will give you a specification of where he'd like it to be.
Okay.
Okay, and that's all based on what the base circle of the cam looks like, what the roller and the lifter looks like, and how quickly those ramps come up. There are some people that say, well, when you do this valve, you should take the opposite valve when it's in full open and then do this. But I found that once you're on the base circle doesn't really change that much, right? And so I've talked to a lot of other engine guys, and this is a pretty standard way to do it. 16 is our setting when it's hot. We got 10 here. I think we'll go for 10. 10 will go in there. So we'll go for 10 all the way around. Cold, when the engine's in the car and we're warming it up, we'll see where we get to. So we're going to come 90 degrees, just about straight down. All right.
10 is like a little snug, but
Now, two things are going to happen. One, you want to keep this
the same while we
because
tighten it. Yeah,
if you
it'll
turn
go
it,
straight back.
it'll
Yeah.
go, So you want to do that. The other thing is as you tighten this jam nut, it's still going to close everything.
Right.
You're taking
so it's
up
gonna
the
get
play
even-
in the
It's
thread.
gonna get slightly tighter.
So we're going to just snug that and see where you are.
Okay, go back to the 10.
About got her.
Nice and snug, but not bad.
So
Okay.
make sure you don't let the screw turn anymore.
Right.
And tighten your jam nut a little more. Just get it nice and snug down there.
All right, so Dad and I just went through and checked, double checked all the valve lash. Now that everything's done, we went through the firing order one more time, and then we checked every single jam nut to make sure everything was good. Everything looked good. So now we're gonna pop the gasket back on, valve covers back on, we'll put it back up on the table. Yeah, we'll go from there. What you getting down to, Fletchy? I'm making a bracket.
I'll get real close on that ugly son.
Adam's taking the carb off, the modified, so we can get this all cleaned up. It's got some nasty. It's got some nasty. The car hasn't been running a long time, from what we know.
Make it purr.
And
Make it purr.
yeah, it'll be fine. We'll clean it up. It'll be good. Car hasn't been running a long time. When it did get run, it was raced hard and good. So anyway, little update on the modified here, up on stands. Getting ready to install our flywheel on the engine here. This is a pretty critical area. So we got a spacer here, that goes on first. Not all flywheel assemblies go with a spacer, but this one does need it. And then we've got our ring gear that'll sit atop the spacer. We want to make sure that the mating surface here is nice and clean so that they can be nice and flush. And then we've got our coupler that goes last. Here are the inner splines. This is for the transmission, and then these outer splines drive our 5-stage oil pump, which also has a tandem power steering and fuel pump off the back of it as well. We've got some special lubricants that we're going to be using, as well as a Permatex red thread locker. We're going to put these inside the bolt holes because on the bottom of the head of each bolt, this is what the bolts look like. These are an ARP bolt. You might notice they're a little bit shorter. We've got a little bit of a fatter head than standard. And then they also tell you to use this assembly grease. What this does is we're going to put some on the bottom of the head of each bolt, and then when you put that grease on there, any bolt that has a lubricant on it is going to increase the torque spec on it with that lubricant being present. So that's exactly what this is going to do. It's going to increase our torque spec by adding it to the bottom of each head. Get this on here and lined up. That goes right there. All right, so we've got a dry bolt in here with no thread locker or grease. We will do that one last. This allows us to hang the assembly, take our time a little bit with the rest of the stuff so we're not rushing. And then I think what I'm going to do is, as I go through, I will thread locker the bolt. I'll put the bolt in most of the way, take a dab of this grease, which I have over here, on a stick, and I'll paint the bottom of the head as I do it. So that way I don't wipe the grease and the thread locker through each other and it gets all weird and gross. Engine is in the car. Pretty easy drop in. We didn't know kind of what it would be like because we've never run with this flywheel assembly, so it was a little bit different than normal. Not that we've done this that many times to begin with, but yeah, engine's in, and now we can sort out our belts and all that and get the transmission in. Dad's got a little bit of carb work to do, and we'll be ready to fire this thing before too long. Thank you very much for watching today's video. If you liked it, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new here. We're trying to put up as much content here on the new YouTube channel as possible. These videos take a little bit of time, and it's not something that we're totally used to yet, but we're trying to stay on top of it as best we can. Hopefully you liked getting a look at kind of like the drivetrain, essentially, doing some engine work with Dad, flywheel, and dropping the motor in. I think the next video on the channel will probably be firing the engine and doing a leak check around just like the parking lot probably. So yeah, we're getting really close. We have a test on the books for next week, and then a race next weekend as well on the books. So yeah, we're gonna keep making content as we go. Like I said, if you like the video, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. If you want to help the team out a little bit, or if you like our stuff and you want more of it, go to our Patreon page. That's at patreon.com/FletcherWolfRacing. I'll put a link in the description for that, and I'll put a little thing on the screen for you. It's a membership page where people can sign up, and like $5, $10, you know, little stuff like that, and people can just help the team out without making a huge commitment. So if you're interested in that, be sure to check that out, and other than that, we will see you on the next one.